It is another A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom. We are doing our BDM Oktoberfest party.
We are.
On Saturday. And so,
Do you know where it's at?
it's at Hollerbach.
It's at Hollerbach.
It's from 6 to 9.
Place rules.
So if you're a BDM, come by.
Yeah. You got to be a BDM, though.
Yeah. We're.
But I would allow you to drive. If you signed up in the parking lot before you walked into the sweet, sweet smell of schnitzel, I would allow it.
Oh, yeah, you can sign up at any time.
TomandDan.com/registration. It helps us out. You get free content, and you get to come to cool parties like this where we have a private area just for our guys.
Now, it is $1.95 for the lowest tier.
I won't let you in if you're that. No, $2.95 or nothing.
Maybe that you're like, oh, what can you even buy for? Every time I leave the house, it seems like I'm spending $60.
Yeah.
Just on nothing.
Nothing.
It's like I go at the gas station. I'm like, let me get a couple Mountain Dews, and then I go buy some things at Publix, and then get some eye drops at CVS. $80.
$80. Yeah. Well, the eye drops are a little expensive, right?
Yeah.
Eye drops which ones you get? You still get the Rodos?
Oh yeah.
I love the Rodos.
Yeah.
I got to get some more of those. I've started imbibing in, kind of working its way into. This will lead into my revelation. I've been working in the THC seltzers.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, I've been working those in a little bit because Andrea's out of town right now, and I'm playing the role of both mother and father.
Okay.
Which is really difficult when you have a high functioning mother.
Yeah.
She is so good at what she does that I'm struggling. I'm getting it done, and it's all done right, but I'm not that smart or good enough. I can't do what Andrea does.
Yeah.
Plus, I like to F off a lot.
Yeah. No, the moms.
Moms are.
It's hard to
even
the
moms.
Mimic their role.
You can't.
I have to do a motherly thing on Thursday.
Okay, that's the theme of today's show is mothers.
I have to take because Crystal's got to show a house or do some real estate thing, and then so I have to take him to the doctor.
Okay. Oh God, I hate doing that.
And he's got to
because I'm always going to forget everything the doctor tells me.
Oh yeah.
And my wife's going to say, "What did they say about the mole behind her ear?" And I'll be like, "I didn't ask about that." Like, wow, it was on the paper.
I always forget the year he was born. I know the day, the month, the day.
It's a 15, right?
I don't know.
2015. It's got to be same year as Maisie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be 2015.
But I have to do the math in my head every time. I'm like 24, 23, 22. That's how stupid I am. Anyway.
I'll just look at the doctor. It's on the paper. Just you tell me when they were born.
Crystal was going to have her mom take Max, but she's like, well, he'll feel more comfortable with you. And then I was like,
aren't you guys just going to sit in silence?
Well, that's it.
That is nice, though. I do love some nice silence.
I am not a comforting person to be around. I am horrible at comforting anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm at the doctor, and the Max is like, what's going to happen? I'm like, no one knows.
It's scary back there. You'll find out.
I'm like, they got some sort of probes? I have no idea.
Hear that noise? That's the machine. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And then I'm like, you don't even really need to be here. Your mom's just blowing this whole, thing out of proportion. It's like, all kids are fine. It's like,
I mean, you could do, now I don't know if anybody's ever done this, and it is a bold move, but you could call Max an Uber and send him on his way.
He's not like Maisie. My sons are very dependent.
May is so independent. I can send her anywhere alone, and she's totally fine.
Oh, no, yeah. She could start living her life.
She could.
Yeah.
She absolutely could. You know what she learned out of necessity this weekend? Or this week, because her mom's gone. She can do her hair like she can part it perfectly and then put it into a ponytail and then wrap the ponytail into a bun. You know why she knows how to do that? Because I don't know how to do it. It's almost like necessity, right? It's like survival.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so bad at it because I've never done it that she was like, I have to learn this because my dad is such an F up. And here's the bomb I wanted to drop on you. Before Andrea left, Maisie called a meeting of the family and said, I don't want him drinking while you're gone.
Oh, man. That is no, man.
I feel like Brad Pitt. I feel like it's like when your kid says, "I don't want your last name anymore." That one hurt. That one got me. She's like, "I don't want you drinking any beer." I was like, "Why?" She's like, well,
"You're getting out of control."
She's like, "No." She said, "We need to be on our A game." I'm like, "Where did you hear that?"
Sometimes you fall asleep, and I'm afraid you're gonna stop breathing. Yeah. then have to drag your corpse outside.
Yeah. I'll pull you outside, let you freeze in the snow.
So
isn't that what people do with their dads? Like when you know that your dad's an alcoholic and you know the whole family be better off without him, you drag him into the snow so you hope he freezes because it's a calming death for him. And it's good for the family. It's good for everybody involved.
So
you're just taking
why you're drinking the THC seltzers.
No. I added that to the beers I drink.
Now you said you just ordered these online. They showed up.
Yeah, let's get back to the real thing here. Let's not talk about how bad I am. You know, we could do shows and shows about that. But yeah, these are THC seltzers. They're by a company called Trail. Damn it, I'm gonna have to look up the name of them. Trail something. They're I will say they're pretty damn good. Trailhead, I think is what they're called.
Okay.
And they're like they have different flavors like Arnold Palmer. They have a mimosa and they have like a margarita. And you do not taste the THC in them, but it says THC right on the can. So I'm like, okay, well, we're just doing whatever we want now, right?
Yeah.
Because these were shipped to my house. Maisie could have ordered these for herself if she wanted to.
Where are they from? Like
Oregon.
Okay, so they're from a state is it Oregon recreational? I think it is.
Yeah.
So, but they could ship interstate. No one cares.
No one cares anymore. It feels very much like your first beer. The way I would describe it is you get that little bit of like, I'm like now I have a chemical in my body that's different. You know, you get that feeling.
Now, is there any difference between like me just taking a LaCroix and then taking a tincture and putting a couple drops of tincture in my LaCroix?
This is probably more for people that want worry about flavors, and that's not you.
Okay. Well,
like this is more like for someone like me that like the worst part of putting tincture in LaCroix is that I'm drinking a stupid LaCroix. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, will it change? I guess because the mint tincture has that mint taste. Why do they do that?
I guess to mask the THC. But this tastes like lemonade and iced tea. It really does. Like the only complaint I would have if I'm going to give you a completely honest review is that it's a little thicker. Like the viscosity of the liquid.
Okay.
Like it's a little more like a mixed drink, a little less like a seltzer, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I like my seltzers light. I don't like any pulp in them. I don't like them to be thick. I don't like my beers thick. A thick beer to me is, I don't know, it just grosses me out.
You know, and people love these, and I don't understand why, because I've bought them multiple times because maybe I was like,
Boner pills.
No.
I got to get this Blue Cheese dog.
No, well, hold on. We got a line on a new sponsor.
I got to get on that.
We were Tracy had a meeting with
with Mr. Chew?
No, it's a marketing agency.
His first name is Drew. It's Drew Chew.
That has a Blue Chew. I'm like, we can sell that.
We can sell Blue Chew.
There you go. Like,
all of our fat listeners, boners don't work.
I was like, I was born to sell boner pills.
Yeah, I was too. That's why I was so jealous when the news junkie started talking about Blue Chews. I'm like, God damn, Sean, beat us to everything.
Oh, no, we'll get it. We'll get.
But he's a pioneer. The guy's a pioneer.
Yeah, but boner pills, weed, fireworks, that's all right up our alley.
I want to do mushrooms.
Oh, we can sell mushrooms.
I want to sell
any drugs.
I want to do solar.
We could really sell fentanyl, but it's frowned upon.
It is kind of.
But
what's
good.
the legal fentanyl, right? There's got to be something out there.
There's some sort of like synthetic version. Right? I think it's kratom.
Oh, do you see the new kratom? They have a kratom.
Some dad just died of kratom.
Oh, did he? Oh, see, I won't talk about it then. This was like a spray. But this is like a kratom spray. Well, it's like you poof yourself up.
The thing is, if
dads that are dying of kratom are guys that were doing a ton of drugs, and then they just transitioned from doing a ton of drugs to doing a ton of kratom.
Or
the idea is to pull back on doing drugs, right?
But it just interacted with their biology wrong, and it's a .01.
So you're saying they're weak.
No,
a weak person.
Like if someone tells you, like, hey, this is 99.9% safe, and then you're like, oh, I'll take that. But then if you 99.9% of a million. That's a good amount of people that if 20 of the,
Sure.
I think
No, you're right.
I don't even know the math of it, but
You don't have to. I get
it's
what
like
you're
100
saying.
people, but it's like 100 people out of a million. That's still 99.9%. And but if you heard 100 stories in a row about someone dying of kratom, you'd be like, oh my god, it's just your perception.
That's called the internet. You go to the internet, you hear 100 stories of everybody that has the one
or got the vaccine and died. Because again, if it's 99.999%, that 0.001% is still a lot of people. If the total number is 10 million,
sure,
and then when you hear about every single individual story of all those,
it's like taking them and concentrate
80 people that you'll be like, oh, this is killing everybody.
Anyway, you and your this is kind of two things I wanted to kind of address with you about. I know that your wife, one of her greatest fears, one of Crystal's greatest fears, is losing all of her digital memories. And it's been brought up as like, and I don't even think that's an irrational fear at all. Actually, that's a real fear because, and I have proof because a new article today, I believe it's in the Wall Street Journal, they were talking about how we are about to enter what is considered the internet's dark ages. And I was like, what the hell is that? So then I took the article and I started pulling some facts out of it. And so next year, Google is going to eliminate their URL shortener. And it's just going to stop working. I don't know why. But
what is that?
It's like, have you ever taken I do it a lot for social media where, let's say if we had tomanddan.com/registration for BDMs, I can take that entire URL, I can put it into a URL shortener, and it'll make it like www.tdreg.tomanddan. It'll make it tinier.
Okay.
So you can put it in like social media easier.
Okay.
It's just making excruciatingly long URLs smaller and more manageable, right?
Okay.
So billions of these are going to go away, like just tons and tons and tons of these little links. Google is getting rid of them. 40% of the internet from 2013 is already gone.
That it's just erased?
I guess, yeah, because like what happens
they're erasing the digital garbage.
I guess they have to because these companies that are in charge of it, it's not necessarily that they're erasing it. They're just not keeping it.
Okay, yeah. So all the stuff that they built, they're like, we're just letting it disappear.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example. Like, because these links are going away, these URLs are going away, the social media posts that have those links will all be basically dead posts. For example, links that are in like legal documents for like the Supreme Court. So think about their rulings. They have to cite in the rulings, right? They'll take a court case and then underneath it you'll have footnotes and it'll have like a URL. And they'll cite something. Well, those are dead. So all of these findings, all of these documents, they're useless. They're literally useless documents. Gawker and The Owl, both popular culture websites, all of their stuff's been deleted. Cartoon Network's archive is gone.
So they are just getting rid of dead garbage that's on the internet, right?
Well, it's not even that. I don't even know if it's garbage. It's just as programs move on, as site uses change, as the way the programming languages we use changes. You know, all of this thing, we move on to the next big thing. Maybe that thing doesn't get used. Gaming history. So a lot of video games that are old, that legacy games that we like, that you can run on an emulator, a lot of those, if you lose them, they're gone. I'll give you for instance, Backyard Baseball 97 just got re-released, and that was a huge game in 97. People loved it. It's like a kid game baseball, and it's just heralded because it's so cute and the characters are great. The original source code for that game was gone. They had to redo the game. The guys that worked on that game to re-release it, they started with a CD-ROM of the game, and that's how they started. They're like, this is terrible.
And they just built it from the CD-ROM.
Yeah, because they had no source code.
But even if the original gets erased, but the internet can still live on the internet based on if someone else had downloaded or whatever, and then they put it up, and then, you know.
It's just not organized, right?
Yeah,
so I guess the problem here.
Be hard to find.
The crux is, and what your wife is really scared about, is companies like Yahoo and Google, they're deleting archives and services. So vast parts of internet history, included like Yahoo Answers, Google Plus content. Remember, that's not a thing anymore. All of those have been permanently erased. Not necessarily because they don't have the space. It's just we've moved on. So we never really know what we have access to, what we don't have access to. It's like we're losing so much information. They described it in this article. It'd be like we're losing so much information daily. in the internet. It'd be like taking the Alexandria Library of Rome and burning it to the ground every day.
But then it's getting replenished faster than we're losing it.
Correct.
Which is why they're dumping it, I guess, because there's just so much being uploaded probably that they are like, there's no way that all this can be stored.
And then you throw one more thing on there. It's you throw in, SJ's chiming in from our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive. He says a lot of companies don't want to update programming code for databases once they fall below a certain percentage. Yes, that's a better way of saying what I was trying to say. It's like, yeah, they'll move on. They're not going to put the resources to it anymore, and we're just stuck. So let's say that Crystal's photos were all linked to something that, didn't seem important to Google. They are bye-bye. They're gone. Because we have no control over that. So that is the weird thing that we kind of are living in. We've always been living with these social media accounts, right? Like those were sort of gifts to us, right? Yeah. We're not guaranteed it. Like when you have a Twitter account and you get locked out of it, take a middle finger with you. You may or may not get into that. You're not guaranteed that.
I still believe in my theory that one day Facebook will charge you a monthly fee to keep all your history and store it, like a storage fee.
I think maybe with like news like this breaking, it's almost like
and people will pay.
People probably welcome it.
And people would pay to have it. Now, it's going to make a lot of people mad, and some people are like, I'm not going to pay. I'll just download all my photos onto my own computer. But for the convenience of just going back and looking at your entire life for the past 20 years on Facebook, what I'm saying? Every post you ever made and all that stuff, like, I think people would pay like a small monthly fee, $1.95. Just to store it so they have this crazy record of their lives through pictures and through your posts, of the past
just to see what you were going
50
through
years, I'm saying? And then you're like, it's a way for your kids to see who their parents are, right?
Yeah.
Or your parents to see who your kids are. You see their whole life, you know what I'm saying? Like, or people that were born.
Probably
my kids.
I always think of it as being, and I use Crystal as my example because I think it's more precious to us because we didn't always have it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I think my daughter's idea of her digital footprint, her digital memory, everything that she's doing in dance, all of that, even though she's going to have it from day one until whenever she goes away, it will mean less to her than it will mean to me because I know what it's like to not have any of that. Like Like I think they have a different relationship with it. I really do.
Oh,
like,
100%.
I think that's why it's so emotional for someone like Crystal. And I think about it it's funny because it's not even my problem, and I get anxiety from it. I think about her losing all her photos and how sad she would be. That would be catastrophic for her, right?
Yeah, no.
Because she's like one of maybe.
Yeah.
I go back through my photos of Maisie and watch them all the time. I'm that guy.
So speaking of technology, Crystal sent me this reel the other day, and it was someone that I guess there's some software and some mixed with AI technology with the Google glasses or some sort of glasses, right? Or this person. Now, this could be a fake video.
There's a lot of them going around right now because, people love that fame.
It's on Instagram, and it's called Acknowledge AI. Just type it in, Acknowledge AI. So what they're insinuating is this person's walking around with these glasses, and every face that he comes in contact with, random strangers walking by.
AcknowledgeAI.com?
Yeah, or the video, the reel is just Acknowledge AI.
Okay, let me see.
So basically, the person's walking through the public.
Is this the one over here on the right?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I think I got it.
And as he's walking through a crowded park, it will see someone's face, the Google glasses.
Oh,
right?
yeah. This is supposed to be like a real deal.
And then it will instantly tell you where that person, through their social media and through LinkedIn, and everybody's got, the facial recognition technology.
Yeah.
It'll be like, oh, this person's Greg Jones. He works here. He
Jones.
lives here, whatever, all of this information. And then this person's like, hey, Greg. And the person turns around and he's like, hey, and then he makes up a story using as his Google glasses or whatever is telling him like, oh, he works at, this corporation and this, and then you just and people are like, oh,
okay.
So,
here is
Betsy. Oh, okay. I think I met you through the Cambridge Community Foundation, right? Yeah. It's great to meet you. I'm Kane.
So he's walking through the subway.
Do you happen to be the person working on like minority stuff for like Muslims in India at all or something?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Are you Kashif?
Yes.
Oh, I've read your work before. It's super cool.
So here's how it works. We stream the video from the glasses straight to Instagram and have a computer program monitor the stream. We use AI to detect when we're looking at someone's face. Then we scour the internet to find more pictures of that person. Finally, we use data sources like online articles and voter registration databases to figure out their name, phone number, home address, and relatives' names.
I can't get
And it's
Tom.
all fed back to an app we wrote on our phone.
Is your address 4 Valley? Yeah. Atlanta, Georgia, 303. Is
Oh my god. Yes.
So
That is okay. All right.
it's
That's
so
pretty wild, buddy.
think about what that means.
I want those glasses.
That's the end of privacy.
Not until I have my blocking glasses on. Right? So you put on your
All right, I'm
glasses, and
wearing
then
this
I
big
wear,
mask.
and then I put on these, and then it's like, it goes over me, and it's like, now they had this. Okay.
I mean, no one cares about privacy anymore.
What
anyway.
you are witnessing right now, there is a video game that came out probably in 2016, and it's had 3 versions, I think. It's called Watch Dogs. And Watch Dogs, you are a hacker. You get tied up in like the hacker underworld, right? And you have this power. That's, in games like Spider-Man, all this stuff, you get powers, right?
Yeah, so some James Bond
Yeah.
sort of technology.
So your
that's like
powers in Watch Dogs are you're walking down the street, and it's an open world game like Grand Theft Auto. Great game, by the way. I beat it. It's a great game.
Okay.
You're walking around, and when you'll see, like, let's say I saw you, I've got this type of technology. A little blurb goes over your head, and it shows like your name, what you do, and how much money's in your bank account. And that's how I choose whether or not I want to digitally steal from you. I digitally hack your Cash App. I take like $1,000. You can find like you use it in the game. You use these glasses. You don't have glasses. You really just have like hacker powers. But you use your powers to kind of like find hits. So like you're in a crowded group of people, and you have to kill the bad drug cartel owner, or a boss, and you use your glasses to survey the crowd. Oh, there, it finds him over in the corner. You make your way over. You silent assassin, kill him. So the games that we've played, the Cyberpunk, the Watch Dogs. I mean, we are getting. That is exactly the thing in Watch Dogs.
Yeah,
it is to the T the thing.
Now, what's weird is in normal day life, you would never care or want this. Like, I don't need to know who everybody is walking past
But
me.
you're not
don't
curious?
care.
Oh, I'm too curious.
No, I don't.
It's like the internet, man.
Like if
It's
I'm
like peeping in people's windows.
yeah, like if I'm on the subway and there's a bunch of strangers.
How fun would it be to yell pedophile in public when you see one? Pedophile! Would you out them?
I don't care what they do for a living. I'm not interested in what their name or what I'm saying. It's just sitting there.
Well, that's not your thing.
Yeah.
But I think
who
me,
is?
me and Crystal would very much enjoy seeing. Like, you wouldn't want to walk down the street in your neighborhood and see who all your neighbors are. Like, oh, that old man. It's like starts looking at me. He's like his old gunnery Sergeant Bill. And he was in the military for 41 years and honorable discharge. And you're like, wow, that's interesting.
Then I guess you
sitting on the,
I don't bother to strike up a conversation with them, and they'd tell me. So why would I just want to see their face? Now, but for nefarious activities, this could definitely work for scammers and things like,
for those guys that read minds, for John Edward.
Think about if door-to-door salesmen and stuff, instantly they know like, hey, Tom from Tom and Dad, and then I'm like, yeah, I think they're a listener, right? So immediately my guard is down. And then I think they're BDM
places already. You know that, right?
No, I understand that but it's not instant where it's like a stranger sees you and saying like, you could do a little bit of pre-research, but this
I've always loved the maitre d' that knew you were coming and he looked you up so he would have your names right when you came for the order. I like that kind of stuff.
Well, like customer service and stuff, like it's interesting what it would be used for. I mean, obviously like Disney World and like big corporations have been using facial technology. I mean, we were just talking about
but there's a difference there. Disney uses it and you opt in. This, you're not opting in. So I don't know what the legalities of this would be. Like when you buy a Disney ticket, they're basically telling you on the back of that ticket, I believe, I could be wrong,
Yeah,
that,
they
hey,
use
we're
facial-
gonna use this to see what you're up to. But if I have on these glasses, I am stealing your personal sense of privacy of just walking down the street. I don't know if that I don't know.
But it is already on the internet. So it's like essentially I could do the same thing with a camera. This is just expediting it instantly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because everybody's, if you wanted to be private, you could attempt to not have a social media, not have a LinkedIn, not a picture
right.
stuff. And this probably wouldn't find you as easy. Now, it could probably then, the AI works fast and it searches like a driver's license database. I don't even
Right.
know if we have access to that. But
well,
there's
they said they use voter records.
Yeah, there's voter record
Yeah.
there, and so there's probably if your goal was to be hidden, you could get close. But for the rest of us, we all live our lives
Right.
by putting all our
Like
information
normal
out there.
people,
Like,
right.
everybody knows now. You just put in someone's name and you can get their address, where they work. You know what I'm saying? Like you could just search that on Google. And then you could find their information on Google, everybody's address, phone numbers.
I had a guy on Reddit do that.
Everybody.
No, like he did it
it's-
nefariously. It's the first time this has ever happened to me where I had a guy, it was in a Tesla group where he asked a question and then I answered the question. It was nothing bad at all. And he was just a troll. And he looked at my Reddit profile and then connected it to tomandan.com. And then he screenshotted the little side where we have our ad for cameos where you can like sign up to get a cameo. And he screenshotted it and then he circled my face and he sent it back to me as a private message and he said, "You're ugly as F."
All right.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. He was
to.
trying to bait me. He had a couple more. I just blocked him. He was trying to do a few more. There's so many people on there that I think they're just pooping and they're bored. Like seriously, I think it's. I used to.
Well,
think
that's
it
their
was,
hobby is trolling.
Yeah, I used to think it was deep seated. Like I used to think in their heart they needed it. I don't think they're connected to it at all. I think it's a meaningless.
Yeah, it's just
It's like masturbating. It's like
Yeah,
I gotta
it's
get it
just
out. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
an animal.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird.
But it's like I guess we're all fine with all of our information and like people being able to take a picture of the front of our house. Like remember I told you about that prank, some internet prank show. Basically they had a computer T-shirt printer in their van. And remember, and they just got the name of the employee at the Goodwill or whatever, and then so like they got her name when they walked in, and then they just went to the van, looked her up, found her on Facebook, printed out a picture of the front of her house on a T-shirt, and then went back inside the Goodwill.
That's a rattle you prank.
And
dude.
then pretended to be like, oh, I found this T-shirt, I want to buy it. And then she gave it to the cashier, which is the lady, and she's like, what? This is my house. Like they pretend like they just found it randomly, and she was so confused. Like, why is there a picture? Like this lady thought she was going insane.
Oh, you'll be terrified. Yeah,
Like,
you'll be
she-
scared, confused.
It's like, how did this happen? Especially like, I think if someone did it to me, I would instantly kind of put it together where I'd be like, oh, okay, it's just someone.
You're also in this world, and I think you're a little more prank savvy than most.
But also, like, there you can go to the street view of your address and get a picture of anybody's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just your front door. You can zoom in on the front door.
Ooh, I got a, we've been having good luck putting things into the universe.
Yeah.
I want to talk to someone that has driven a Google Earth or Google Street View car.
Oh, it's
Because
like a weird job.
those
Yeah.
people are the most flicked off people in the world.
You're right. Yeah.
Because I've been starting using Google Earth again, me and Maisie, just to have fun and look up different places I've been. And most of the time, if we find people, they're flicking off the Google car.
Yeah.
Every time.
You could see it coming. They don't, I mean, obviously.
Why do people flick off? Why do you hate the Google car? Do we hate Google?
No. You're trying to go back and see a picture of yourself flicking.
Why not
them
just
off.
wave?
Not as because you want the flicker.
Okay.
off.
I am asking. I'm not anti it.
There are people. I saw some reel about some people that did a fake like a joke murder.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah, I have seen that one.
And then they go back, and now it's a thing where you go back and you go to Google Street View, and you're like, oh, it came on.
I saw the naked. Have you seen the naked or the old lady flashing? I've seen that one.
Okay, yeah.
There's like an old lady standing in her yard showing her ninnies.
They probably have some software that blurs.
Oh,
it
it's
out,
blurred.
Right?
Yeah. It's totally blurred. They knew. Like they,
Yeah.
I think
But
they,
it does it automatically.
I think they know when there's a human in the shot.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
my
yeah.
car does.
The
My car
software
knows.
does. Yeah. So it's, I mean, no human is looking at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all being done automation, I assume, right? Like that Google car is immediately uploading all the information into the system, and it's organizing it. It's putting it, you know, it's like, there's no person like, let me move this file. Like, it's all automated.
I do have
imagine.
an update for my Tesla assisted smart summon, the ass that I've been using.
Yeah.
I can control my car to pick me up remotely. I used it over here at Publix, and an older man saw it, and he goes, "Hey, that's all right." I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well,
That's all right.
Have you seen like Tesla is they're launching some fully automated like taxis or like Ubers?
They did their event last week, and it was really panned because I think most people agree that we're just not ready for anything even close to that. Plus, Elon's such an S-bag, you know, like people don't like him. Like they don't they're kind of like just shut
the
your
technology.
Mouth. I understand, but it's like people politicize everything, you know. So with him, me too. But his it was kind of a lackluster event. But it's a 2-seater robo-taxi. It's got no steering wheel. It's got no pedals. You just sit in it. It's got a big ass screen with entertainment. And I guess the idea would be you get into this and you drive around. But I think I figured it out how it is going to be viable, at least in the near future. And I'm not a fanboy in any regard, but I could see where, imagine a festival, like you go to like Bonnaroo. Probably a bad example, but like an area where there is a festival and you need to get people moving through there and you don't want to use buses. I could see where he would start geofencing these huge festivals and using these cars at these festivals to begin.
It's an automated transport.
Yeah, and you work out all the kinks at these festivals before you roll it out bigger. I think it'll work.
This will 100% be the future. I was listening to a podcast years ago about like self-driving automated cars will be the Ubers. And it will be a 100% that, because I heard him talk about it. He's like, and he's exactly right. There's such a waste of vehicles in the United States, really everywhere, where you buy this vehicle, you pay the insurance, it's super expensive, you pay all this costs, right? And it sits in a parking space or in a garage for 80% of its life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a gigantic waste of a resource when now, if you like drive, there's, obviously there are exceptions, but if you just want transportation.
Well, that's not a car enthusiast.
Of course.
Those are different animals, man.
You're talking because the general American, or at least here, like you can't live without a vehicle in Orlando, or it's difficult because our public transport is horrible here. So you have to have a car, and if you have a car just for transportation, like an automated option that could take you anywhere would be way better. It's just constantly being used 100% of the time except for charging, so it's a lot more efficient than your car sitting in your garage or parked out here. Think about all the waste of parking spots. Have you seen the airport?
It's terrible.
Like, there's a sea of cars never ending, and they're just sitting there.
It's a rumor. I'm not going to say who it is. Rumor from the chat room says Universal has a rumor that the new Tesla vans might be used for the Epic roadway between the studios and Epic Universe. I could see that.
Yeah. I mean,
it would be smart to partner with somebody and have them foot the bill for all your transportation and use something that has a lot of eyes on it.
Daniel does not drive his car anymore.
I don't drive my car.
Yeah, every time I get into Daniel's car, he puts the destination.
When's the last time you see me drive?
And there's been a lot. It's been so long that you might as well be Miss Daisy. You are a feeble old lady that cannot.
Well, I do sit in the front and drive Maisie around, so it's like driving Miss Maisie. I just sit there like a load of potatoes. I don't drive that car.
And it drives perfectly. The technology's already there.
I will tell you when it's bad, and the latest update they put on it is better than it's ever been. I used to use something you're not supposed to use called a wheel weight that you would put on your wheel, and it would trick your car into thinking your hands are on the wheel at all times. You should not use that. You don't need to use it now. It's unnecessary. You don't even
I feel less comfortable that Daniel's behind in the driver's seat. I'd rather him sit in the back and just let the computer do all the work. Like I don't trust Daniel. He's drunk. He's
right.
Hey, that's what all humanity is. What the hell are people talking about? They're like, I don't trust it. Everybody's drunk. They're just looking at their
drunk
phone.
and high.
They're looking at their phones
On the kratom.
Like this thing is always looking.
You can do kratom while it's
Oh,
driving.
yeah.
You can.
The machine is better than the human.
Let's do a couple of voicemails and close out the show. If you'd like to leave us some voicemails, 1-844-TOMNDAN. Email show@tomandan.com. Super easy. This is labeled business idea. We'll see.
Hey, yo, Dan Lee, TC. Business idea I came up with. I don't know. I kind of want to hear you guys' opinion on it. But before I do, Timmy, I love you, BDM best friend. He'll recognize my voice.
We now have BDMs that are leaving messages for other BDMs
Okay.
because they know that other BDMs will listen.
Okay.
And they do like secret messages like, love you, friend, or hey, Steven, it's Cherry. You know, like, I kind of like that.
How does that help our show at all, sir?
It's camaraderie.
Like
It's
one
camar-
person,
I knew you would be grumpy about it. I like it. I like it. It's camaraderie.
One person will be happy, and the rest of us are mad that you did it.
You're just mad that you don't have a secret code with your friend, BDO, and this guy did it.
Just get on with the question.
Okay.
If you play it on the air. But it's weird. It's embarrassing. That I even
I'm going to warn you, he's long-winded. You're going to get mad.
Okay. All right.
care about talking to you guys. Listen for years. And, yeah, you know, we feel like we know you.
Okay.
Even though you don't know us. But,
Right.
you know, you feel like we know you. Anyway, love meter. I'm not going to pay more than I have to for the content.
Whoa.
Unless I get a little extra. Just me. This is the way I am. I like you guys. I don't like you that much. But what if you had the list of the maxed out love meters, the 1099 or whatever it is? I don't know. I've never checked. But if you had a list of those people who gave the most, and you split it in half, and each one of you called once a month, you had her name and phone number, called once a month just to say, hey, how you doing, buddy? Everything good? And as BDMs promise, 60-second phone call, we would say, all good, man. So glad to hear from you. Love the show. Nobody's going to give you shit or tell you exactly how their life's really going.
God damn it.
But, you know, I don't know. Kind of gives that personality back. You guys up your income.
So is this guy saying we're be like phone whores? We'll be like the 1-900 numbers.
Once a month?
He wants once a month for us to
You gotta-
call all thousands. Thousands.
Well,
of
no,
BDMs.
1095 or there's
Oh,
the
no,
true
there's
love.
not thousands of those. Yeah, I wish there were
But there-
thousands. If there were thousands 1095ers, we'd have a better studio.
There's a couple hundred.
Oh,
Okay, so
Oh, we can do that then.
once a month?
Yeah, we split it up. It's one. It's you
100
only get
phone
one. You
calls?
only get one. You either get Tom or Dan, and then we switch the next time.
Do you know how long it would take for 100 phone calls? And then
Yeah, 100 minutes. I know how math. I know how math works,
Yeah, but then so like okay.
and I'm efficient. I'm head down. I'm head down
Yeah,
like
but
Juan Valdez.
What if they answer? Then you have to do a little
60
conversation.
seconds. He said 60 seconds guaranteed phone call. That's all you get.
But most people don't even answer random numbers.
I'm going to time it, and it's going to be like those Japanese sex lines where I'm talking, and then when you run out of minutes, it's closed.
Well, no one's even going to pick it up.
That's your fault.
So then let's just do it automated. Send a message.
We could do the AI Joe Biden voice. We could robocall. We could do robocalls.
Also, that you're assuming people want this.
It was just his idea. We're just kind of kicking it around.
Like
you
we
know?
have a cameo on
Yeah.
the front.
They don't want that.
How much is that?
Well, you heard the guy on Reddit. I'm ugly as
$10?
F. Yeah.
What is it? What's our cameo?
Our cameo? Oh, I
Is it
forget.
20?
I think it's $25, maybe.
20?
I don't even know what it is.
So for $20, me and Daniel
It's
do
not
it.
worth $20.
No, we do. We give them a.
We do a good job.
We can put on a little mini show.
Yeah, we do
sometime.
better than Bam. I mean, Bam Margera is the worst.
Oh, he doesn't care.
He's the worst cameo, and he did a cameo for us.
Yeah.
Then I think he forgot and did it again.
But so for $25, double the
It's a lot more
the
work.
True love.
I think it's more work than a 60-second phone call.
Yeah, we're doing way and we get what once every 2 weeks. Not that many people.
I don't think they're going to want it once a month. Once you've done it, right? They're not going to want me to call them.
No.
Like I called them in January. They don't want me to call them in February.
It's awkward. You're like, hello? You're like, hey, it's Tom and Dan
it's
again.
me again. Can I do anything for you? I come over and wash your windows.
And then you're like, oh, you don't need to do this. I'm just glad to. You're like, no.
Well, then they can say that. They can like, okay. We call once, and I'm like, hi, this is Daniel. This is your 60-second phone call. How are you doing? And then we start talking, right? And then at the end, I go, would you like to opt out for next month's $10.95 personal phone call? And they can either opt in or opt out. If they opt out, I say, okay, I will not talk to you. We will not be calling you again. It's like putting yourself on the don't call list.
Sir, do you have any idea how busy we are? All of our employees quit. It's just me and Daniel and Tracy. And we are trying to do everything.
One we fired. One walked out because he was sad.
No. One, we gave an impossible task. We never fired anybody. We gave an impossible task.
I thought we fired Lee.
No, impossible
okay,
task. I was like, clean up all this and get a video message.
Yeah. You said solve this mess.
Solve this
or solve this mess or go away forever. And he went away forever. Okay.
Where everybody then, like if you can clean everything up,
fair.
and this is a whole misunderstanding. It's all,
If you could go back in time and make this the way it used to be, then you have a job.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
one
actually.
When you go back, go way back.
Yeah, and then one we insulted
buy some
him.
Bitcoin.
Then one we insulted, he got sad and walked out.
Yeah.
Then the other one saw the writing on the wall, and she quit.
Yeah.
And then Tony Pabiani is a rich cruiseman.
Yeah. That's called jumping ship, which I applaud.
You know what that's called? That's called where Aaron Rodgers went where?
Yeah.
I'm going there.
Because if you wait till all the lifeboats are gone, it's too late.
Exactly.
You're going to stay with the fiddlers to ride this thing to Davy Jones. Anyway.
All right, let's do one more, and then this is a good one to end on a happy note.
Tom, Dan, BDM Kylie.
BDM Mike.
So, luckily, yes, we did cancel our larger wedding.
Boo.
We did not make anybody who didn't have power or could not shower attend the wedding. And thank God, none of my bridesmaids live in the state of Florida, and all of their flights were able to make it in safely. We ended up doing something just really small, and it ended up being absolutely amazing, followed by bar hopping at Barley and Vine. Shout out to Benji, the owner there, really coming through and letting us have a great time. And then Paddy Wagons at Dr. Phillips, just so much fun. But we really appreciate you guys, and yeah, we still got to get married. So now we're officially husband and wife. We love you guys.
BDM for life.
Bye.
All right, have a great honeymoon, y'all.
Congratulations, you did something everybody does.
So
married.
So grumpy.
I like the people that are not married or don't have kids and
I always think of them
what
as
are
being
you?
a little trashier.
You're just traveling around.
No, when they're not married, I always think they're trashier. I do. I always
I
always think they're they know. I always think if you're not married but you're still together, I always think there was some indiscretion and somebody doesn't trust somebody in that relationship.
Yeah, but anybody can get married.
I mean, they can.
Yeah, then you're.
Well, not anybody.
It's a business
Can the
deal.
gays still get married?
Like, I don't necessarily want to go into business with Crystal.
Right.
We both have different business ideas.
Well, so do you and I.
But we were.
You're doing
forced.
it right now.
Yeah.
We were forced into it.
Yeah. Like I wanted to get married to Crystal.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to
get married to me.
Well, now I wanted to get. I have to go in business with you.
Okay,
Don't want to marry you.
Yeah, you don't want that. You'd be doing so much.
Yeah. But so signing some sort of business, getting Uncle Sam involved and stuff like that.
She quit.
Need for that.
You don't want to work here no more. She's like, I'm out of here. All right, should we get out of here? Anything to plug? Anything we need to say? Hey, I'm drinking one of those probiotic sodas called Poppy, and I'm about to turd my pants.
You don't need that many biotics.
I don't need that. I got too many biotics though.
Anyway, yeah, we got our Beer Fest over in the Suds coming up in November, and our BDM event in Sanford over the weekend.
Sign up to be a BDM. You can still make it out there, but I will be checking to see if you're a BDM.
If you want us to call you, if you're a BDM and you want us to call you.
T1095. Hold on. I'm not calling a 195. Are you nuts?
Okay.
I'm not going to spend my time calling one. I had a guy email me. He's like, I'm a 195. You better do better shows. I wrote him back. I said, you better give me an extra dollar, mother effer.
Yeah. If you're a 1095 BDM, if you want us to call you, send us an
Yeah.
email and
Yeah.
your phone number. We will call you.
Email and phone number. We'll call you on a show and interview you for the show, and then we'll
Yeah,
give
yeah.
you. I'll send you the show, and you can keep it as a keepsake.
But I'm super appreciative. I'll do anything for BDMs.
Yeah.
I'll
show you.
But
I'll take nude photos of myself and put it on OnlyFans for you guys.
I don't want to do something you don't want, and I just assume that you don't
And
want.
I only want to do stuff you don't want.
Like sometimes I'm talking to BDMs, and then I'm like, I'm
Do you
dancing,
Do you
and they're
feel
like,
when they want to leave? Because I do.
I
want to tell you. I want to tell you.
But
that-
I get confused because I'm like,
Yeah.
why do they want to leave? Don't
Yeah.
they want this?
and I'm like, God, why is he talking them to death?
They don't want it. And then I'm like, oh, okay. This is confusing. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.